don't want to be known by the family of a shooter. We are the family of a victim.
Tonight, we are hearing from the family of 66-year-old Celia Sally Gonzales, who remains in the hospital 1 month after the Uvalde school tragedy. Sally was the first shooting victim back on May 24th, shot in the face before the gunman made his way to Robb Elementary. 9 surgeries later, her family says she remains the target of all sorts of hateful comments because the shooter was her grandson.
We are the family of a victim, of a survivor. She survived.
Shelby Salazar is talking about her grandmother, Sally Gonzales.
My grandmother is a beautiful person inside and out.
For the past month, Sally has been at University Hospital in San Antonio, recovering from a gunshot wound to the face.
He shot her in the face, so all of this was blown. He severed the main artery that pumps blood from her heart to her brain.
Her injuries so severe, there was no guarantee she'd make it past the first few days.
The doctor stated that they didn't even know how she was alive. She was a miracle.
Last week marked her 9th surgery, with several more still to go. Her mouth is wired shut, so she can't talk, but she is alert.
She's able to understand everybody. She's able to write, to tell you what she wants to tell you.
And yet, Shelby says a cloud hangs over her grandmother, a stigma, preventing parts of the public from viewing her the same way they do the other victims of the Uvalde shooting.
Nobody's wanting to donate to her GoFundMe because she's the grandmother of a shooter. There's people stating that she should have died. There's people stating that she's to blame for it. It hurts me. It hurts my heart that people can actually be like this.
Sally worked for the Uvalde School District 27 years, including at Robb Elementary.
She was the first victim. She was left for dead in her home in a pool of her own blood, could not get up, struggled to get to that door to make it to get up. Got up, managed by the grace of God to walk across the street and let the neighbor know what happened.
As for what will happen moving forward, Sally's currently fighting an infection, has no timeline for getting out of the hospital, and is in near constant pain, physical and emotional.
She is hurting for those parents. She cried. Her compassion, her heart, she prays for them. 19 kids were lost. Teachers, people she worked with. I mean, I hope one day she's able to have her bubbly self back. I really do, because I miss that.
For the life of me, I don't understand why some of those decisions were made at the scene of the incident.
Security expert Fred Burden says the law enforcement transcripts and footage reviewed by the Texas Tribune shows officers should have reacted differently on May 24th when responding to the gunman inside of Robb Elementary who killed 19 students and 2 teachers.
It's my professional opinion that the first 2-3 officers on the scene should have entered that classroom in an effort to neutralize the threat with or without the equipment that they had in their possession.
Federal and state investigators are combing through the footage. This still shot obtained by the Tribune is taken from a video inside the school during the shooting. Texas Tribune reporter Terry Langford says this kind of response, especially post-Columbine, was shocking to watch.
Now, within the first 19 minutes, they essentially had what they needed to go in.
Other findings from the Tribune report revealed the door to the classrooms where the shooting happened never appeared to be locked. There's also no evidence that any officers tried opening them, despite Uvalde CISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo previously telling the Tribune he and other officers tried breaching doors, but they were locked.
The only thing stopping a hallway of dedicated officers from entering room 111 and 112 was the on-scene commander, who decided to place the lives of officers before the lives of children.
During DPS Director Steve McCraw's testimony to state lawmakers, he says the way officers reacted set the police force back a decade. Burden tells us the director was spot on.
I don't understand it. I think that there's a lot of hard lessons that are going to come out of this.
This bullet-resistant glass is just one piece of the puzzle to protecting students.
It is a fully ballistic system made for ordinary glass.
An option to refit school campus glass using this specialized film. Districts like Northeast ISD and New Braunfels ISD tell us they have used this film on several campuses.
There are a lot of people looking at it, not just schools, but there are private businesses looking at their security.
Construction representative for a nearby school district, Tim Satori, says this type of film can be used on any kind of glass in the school.
this particular product for potential use on a school that has, based upon what happened at Uvalde, is looking at their options of protecting their students.
I spoke to SAISD, and this is just an option for many safety measures that they have for protecting their schools.
Providing opportunities inside the classroom to hide. Again, with the lockdown procedure, we're building walls and building little cubbies to where enough students, enough teachers can get out of sight.
San Antonio ISD's bond spokesperson, Kedrick Wright, says they're also looking at opaque window film and movable furniture. These features will be in their new Burbank High School. These type of security measures are also being considered for future buildings and campuses, approved for the 2020 bond program.
We'd rather expedite some of these easy wins, if you will, of some of our campuses potentially that we could go ahead and accelerate some of these inclusions.
SAISD, just like other school districts, are still in the information gathering phase. They tell us investing taxpayer money wisely and protecting students is the biggest priority.